This video is an overview of the style editor in Squarespace. From our main panel, we're going to select Design and then scroll down to Style Editor. What is your style editor? Your style editor is the place from which you can change all of the fonts, colors, and even some of the spatial and functional stuff within your website. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of all the different sections that are part of the Marquee Template Style Editor. Every template, by the way, has different functions and features. So this is what it looks like in the Marquee template. If you create a website in a different template, there may be slightly different options in here. But this is what you can do within Marquee, which is what your website is built on. As you can see, when you hover over your site, when it's in style editor mode, you can tell what part of the site you are going to be editing. So for example, here I'm hovering over the site header, which is why if I click, only the site header design options appear. If I click Show All, now I see all of the site design options again. Squarespace does this to make it a little easier for you to navigate all of these options if you're trying to make some changes to your site. So, in the Marquee template, you can make some modifications to the site header, such as the background color. You can make this position fixed, which means that when you scroll, it doesn't move, or unfixed, which means that it disappears when you scroll. I like fixed. You can choose to make it transparent on the banner or not. Transparent is what allows the image to show through and the text in your navigation to appear on top of the image. You can change the font of your title, the size. You can transform what case it is. You can choose whether it's underlined, even the spacing between the letters. Pretty cool. And then, of course, you can change your font color. Squarespace has this great pinwheel tool that you drag, and you can shift this, grab this little circle and move it around inside to pick different colors whenever you want it. Okay. Now you have your site navigation. This is where you change this font here. Again, you can change your font, the size of the font, whether it's uppercase or not. You can change the color, and then you can change the color of the link when it's active. So let's say that we want it to be red. So that means that whenever we click on it, it's this crazy red color. Now, parallax images. Parallax scrolling is this feature. It gives the illusion that your image is in one place, but the text is moving over the image. See how that works? Looks like the image is staying still, but the text is sliding above it. That's called parallax scrolling. It's a very trendy feature. We can choose to do that or not to do that. So let's say that we deselect this. I want you to see what happens instead. See, now the whole image moves up the page versus just the text. Let's turn it back on. Simply select the check, and there you go. Now it's back on again. You can choose to hide the parallax nav or not. That means that you can see these little dots or not. So that means there are 4 pages in this index. There's page 1, page 2, etc. Page 3, page 4. Not really necessary for our site, which is why we have it off. You can change the image height to half. You can change it to full screen. You can change the color of the image overlay. So let's say that you have a brand color and it's red. You can give everything a red tint on your site, like so. Pretty cool. For our case, we kind of go in this more of a black-gray color. All right, let's keep going. Page title and description. Page titles and descriptions. This allows us to change the page title font. That is this font here. So, as you can see, you have the main font, which you can adjust. Heavy, change the size, Same features that you saw before. Over this, the blue box appears on the right. This lets you know what you're about to alter. You can hide the page title if you want, or you can show it. You can title the text color. You can change your background color, your alignment, left or center. See? You can change this so that it appears under the image. Now look, it's down on the page, or over the image. Lots of cool features. All right, let's keep going. Now, let's take a look at your main content. Now, this is all main content. Anything below the header is considered main content. We have a background color that's currently white. You could change that if you want. You can make it pink, or black, or red, whatever you'd like. This is your heading font. You can alter this to be whatever you'd like. Heading 1 is the largest font on the site. Heading 2 is the second smallest font on the site, which, as you can see, is this smaller font highlighted in blue down at the bottom. And then you have heading 3, which you can also update. You can change your heading colors, and then you can also change your text font, which is your normal size text, and then you can change your link colors as well, so if you had a link inside there. So your text font is going to be any of those normal text fonts, and then you can also change your underlined body links. You can make them a particular color, and you can change the font of your quote block too. So there's a lot of customization that you can do here, and the reason why they provide so much customization is so that your brand can actually come out and shine. Now let's take a look down at the footer, because there's a lot of different things we can do in the footer too. So right now it's this kind of awkward brown color. I don't really like that. So let's change that. Let's change our footer to this nice peach. So now our footer is a different color. We can change our secondary nav. So if you had a secondary nav and those links are appearing down here at the bottom, you could change those. Now let's talk about your newsletter block. A lot of people want to make changes to this one. So right now it's currently in what we call dark mode, but we can change that to light. So now it's in white. You can also customize your colors. But I like this in light. Now, we can also change the background color of your newsletter. As you can see here, it's changing before our eyes. Next, we can change the padding, which is how much space surrounds the newsletter block, less or more. We can alter our button colors, and then our text button colors too. As you can see. And finally, when you get all the way down to the bottom here, we have your buttons. We can default the buttons to be whatever we want across the site. Outline, pill, rounded edges. So this is what our button could potentially look like in our newsletter. All right. Finally, we have our button block. So let's take a look at our button. Here it is right here. Let's change this. We can change it to solid or raised. We can change the shape. We can change the color. We can change the color of the text. Finally, we can change the font. Now, let's say that we've made all of these changes and we realize I don't want to keep any of this stuff. Before you exit the style editor, in order to save your changes, you must click Save. Squarespace does provide a prompt, but just in case, remember always to save. I don't want to save any of these changes that we've made, so I'm going to click Cancel. Select Yes. And as you can see, all of the changes that we made have been reverted and we're back to where we started. So that's your overview of the design panel and the style editor and all of the great features and functions that are within it so that you can customize the look and feel of your website to best resonate with your personal brand.